want to expand on is this concept of, well, it's not a concept, it is everything, where it's already done. And I see how this creation that I have now, it's already done, and I can feel how successful this is.
We want to talk to you about this just a little bit. There's a little bit of tweaking to do here.
Yes.
So it's already done, but have you had the fun of getting it done? It's done vibrationally, but don't you want to have some fun of watching it clicking into place? Don't you want to find it, and don't you want to see it, and don't you want to love it, and don't you want to think about it? Don't you want to decorate it, and don't you want to live in it? And don't you want the fun of being in on the appreciation as it becomes manifested? You created it and it is done, but don't you want to be that loving witness of its becoming in physical form?
Yes.
Think about that, because that's a big thing. Because if you just want it to be done, you're on the lower half of the scale and you just want the pain to stop. And you think that thing that you want to be done is just going to be better than the pain you're feeling, and you can't get there from there. But if it's in the vortex and you're on the vibe of it and you're feeling it, you want to milk it. You want to enjoy it. You want to understand that it's going to continue to unfold. It can be endless pleasure. But don't you notice about yourself that you take most of your pleasure from what's new?
Yes.
So everything just keeps becoming newer and newer and newer and newer and gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder and better and better and better and better.
Mm-hmm. I've got to remember to savor the gum rather than chewing it and just spitting it out. I want to savor it. I feel invincible. And I just want to thank you for this gift.
We're all in this together. All we're doing is picking up the pieces that you all are sending over, giving them our undivided attention, and then talking you along the way. That's all.
It's so brilliant, the way that it intertwines and the way that things work out. And
just this day, have you noticed the intertwinings of the questions that have come forward today? And if you were to have read any of the questions in written form, you have not necessarily have seen the way they all dovetail together. But all of their inner beings knew. And so not just the content of the individual offerings, but the pattern of the unfolding of it has led all of you to a clear place of understanding how all of this works than you've ever been before. Would you agree? Mm.
About a year and a half ago, I sailed with you, the Caribbean cruise, and little did I know what was to unfold after that adventure.
It's a bunch of stuff in a bunch of vortices.
Yes.
That has tremendous advantage to a whole lot of people, that if you'd seen it coming, you would have done everything in your power to keep it from coming, because you didn't understand the questions that it was answering and the things it was fulfilling for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If somebody would have told me that I would have lost the clinic that I worked so hard to build 10 years ago, and
it's not lost. It remains as a vibrational basis of who you are. It remains as a vibrational basis of what's coming next. Nothing was lost.
Perfect. Because that catapulted me into owning my own clinic, which I launched in November.
Oh, so you already knew that. That was a trick question. You just baited us into that and made us say things that were unnecessary.
And I call them miracles, not because I feel
we call
like
them
they're
next logical steps.
Yes, the next logical step. And I feel like the story of Jerry stepping on the stones, where all I need to do is put my foot out. I don't need to know it's there, but I know that it will be secure.
Well, better said, you won't have the impulse to stick your foot out unless there's something there to step on.
Right. So, to your point, I would not have necessarily chose this path if I'd have known.
But you did choose it.
But I did choose it.
You did choose it because you are the creator of your own experience. So you chose it, sometimes by deliberate intent and sometimes by default. But what you're leading up to is that everything that momentarily seems like it's not a good thing is not necessarily not a good thing, because things are always working out for you. That means everything that's coming is part of it working out. And when you know that, then you don't freak out and miss opportunities and miss good feelings and slow it down.
And I have 3 sticky notes that are constantly on my computer. And the middle one is things are always working out for me. The other one is this turned out better than I could have ever imagined. And the third one is this was so easy.
Change that one. Say instead, this turned out better than I knew I was imagining.
Nice.
Because you did image it into place. You just did it more incrementally than you knew. And so it morphed and evolved and became more than you could recognize. But it is your doing. You did create it. You did imagine it. Yeah.
It is.
And what's the third one?
This was so easy. So that's the one that
you don't believe.
I don't believe sometimes, because I feel the weight on me that I'm the one that is launching.
Well, then what's a better statement? This was interesting. This was so interesting. This was so revealing. This was so life-giving.
So I need to peel stickies, and eventually I'll get to that one. I just need to work my way to that one, and then I'll believe that it's
What
easy.
does your sticky say? This was what? So easy?
This is so easy.
Well, what does easy mean to you? A lot of people, what easy means is doing nothing beyond what I'm doing right now. That's really easy. Mm-hmm. Some people mean easy. They mean something very complicated happened more easily than I thought it would, because I didn't understand the laws of the universe and I didn't know how many cooperative components were involved. But a really good way for you to get that in a place that really works for you is, this was as easy as I would let it be every step along the way.
And it's true.
Or you could say, you'll feel this one, it gets easier and easier for me. It gets easier and easier as I understand it more. Oh, it gets easier and easier for me as I pay attention to how I'm feeling more. Oh, it gets easier and easier for me as I read the signs of my inner being. Oh, it gets easier and easier for me as I remember that is a path of least resistance. Oh, it gets easier and easier for me as I follow the feelings that feel the best. Oh, it gets easier and easier for me as I leave all the humans that I'm so used to calibrating to out of the equation, because they distract me this way and 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 this way. So are you clearer after that conversation? Does it feel easier? Do you believe in your own ability to discern your own guidance? Did you know that you could say, inner being, I would like you to make it more obvious for me about my decisions? And your inner being is saying, okay, you choose what you want. And you could say, twitch my eye if you're enthusiastic about it. Then when you get an eye twitch, are you going to trust that? You could say, give me a little flash in the back of my eye. And when you get it, trust it. Don't say, either my inner being's talking to me or I'm having a stroke. Do you follow us there? You get to establish your conversation with your inner being. Your inner being wants to cooperate with you, wants to give you guidance. We would really like it if your emotions would work, because your emotions are something that you've been trending forever. It might be better to let your emotions guide you than to ask for an eye twitch. But Esther gets eye twitches every day, because she says, I want this eye twitch to mean this. And when her eye twitches, she knows it means that. You see what I'm getting at? Ask for something that you can't do. Esther cannot twitch her eye. She can wrinkle her nose. She can stick out her tongue. She can wiggle her fingers. There's lots of things that she would question, but she cannot twitch her eye. So when her eye twitches, she knows she did not do it. We're encouraging you to utilize your guidance system more effectively. Show yourself that you have connection. Show yourself that you have guidance. Show yourself that your inner being is there, and then watch the results as you follow that guidance. It's easy. Takes a little trust, right?